I want to hit on control because this is something we call it let go of the vine.
Mm-hmm.
And when the idea is that, you will be the own cap to your business at some point. There's a John C. Maxwell book, everybody, called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Number one is the law of the lid. And the law of the lid says a business will only grow as far as its owner will take them. The owner would be the lid in this metaphor. How do you not put a lid on things? How do you realize the need for control, where it's hurting you, where it's helping you, when to let go of the vine? Because I think most people that are listening to this that want your leadership advice, they probably get that. I can't control everything. But
Mm-hmm.
how often does that just become this cliche thing that people say that control everything, right? So how do you, through your perspective, taking the lid off of the different levels to growth, how do you do that? How do you recognize when you're kind of in your own way and being the lid?
Yeah. Oof. I think it's a song and dance, and I think I'm trying to think of some examples in our own business.
Or parenting too, because a lot of times running a household and running a business, is relatively the same thing.
Yeah, you and I have built a great team around us. We have a great team at headquarters. I think where I tend to step in more and start to bring back some control is if I see something that has the potential to go off course, off brand, off mission. So that's kind of how I now teeter between where do I need to step in and where do I let my team keep going, is if I feel like, do they fully understand my expectations, our expectations, the vision of the company, how this impacts who we are and what we stand for. And a lot of that is because we've built a brand that is a franchise system. So we are giving a part of that brand to people that are then go representing it. So we don't have control over everything, but we have control over our systems, our processes, our policies, our standards. And so I want to make sure those processes, standards, policies all align with our vision. If we were to step away tomorrow and then 10 years from now, we take a look at the brand again, I would want to make sure that what we're doing now still feels the same in 10 years, just better, And so there's times that I have to check the team or even check myself and check with you, like, hey, is this really the direction we want to go? And what are the impacts that this is going to have? That's where I still bring myself into control. But, I also, double-edged sword is, as a leader, I always want to have an open mind. Just because I did things a certain way a year ago or 2 years ago, I want to hear smarter people in the room that challenge me on why are we doing it that way, or have you thought about it this way? And I want to keep an open mind. I don't want to have rigidity in we must do things this way, because we're evolving, we're growing, people's needs change, and we've brought really incredibly smart people to the table that can check us and challenge us on how we do things. So that's why I said it's a song and dance, because I can't give you one area that I'm like, okay, this is what I do control, and then I don't control over here, because it's constantly changing.
And you've seen that constantly evolve too,
Yeah.
and what kind of scope and responsibility. And that's one of those questions that is really hard to answer and give specific advice, because everybody sits in a different seat inside of their own company with different skill sets around them. But I think what I am hearing is gradually, from 3 years ago, we just celebrated the 3-year anniversary of you as the chief executive officer. You got 3 years compounded of that, of you looking. And what I've noticed, for what it's worth, you tell me if I'm right or wrong, I've noticed that you've gradually let go of control. You intentionally give control with specific outcomes so that you can then measure that control to other people. You trust them to do their job. You don't micromanage them or get in their way, but you also trust but verify.
Yeah.
You make sure that you're not just going to trust somebody that the website is the way that they said it was going to be when you had a vision for it. You actually go back and say, that's great, show me your hard work, and compliment them on your hard work, but also your ability to find three errors in something that everyone else looks at and looks like it's clean
Mhm.
is like your
It's
attention.
probably frustrating, isn't it?
It's not frustrating sometimes. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating sometimes. More so personally than professionally. Professionally, I think it's a superpower because you get to find all the details, right? All the things that everyone else misses, you get to see that.
Mhm.
And it's a superpower at the house too. I'm just except for when it's about me. When it's
Yeah.
about me, then it's, like if it's about the kids, all good. If it's about me, we'll talk about that later.